Support WrestleTalk!
Give us a subscribe. Following our WrestleTalk exclusive on Tuesday that WWE were discussing Goldberg versus Roman Reigns for WrestleMania 37, because we do exclusives now, don't you know? And WWE will make that match happen, goddammit, pandemic or not. Goldberg himself then called Reigns out on the bump, saying Roman is next. We outscooped you, Sean Ross Sapp. And now the very reliable WrestleVotes on Twitter has fleshed out even more of the WrestleMania 37 card, tweeting, "Source stressed nothing is close to official or concrete, but as a working idea the following is what's being considered. Reigns versus Goldberg, Edge versus Orton and an interesting twist, and McIntyre versus Lesnar versus Keith Lee. Lots of variables in play, especially the attendance factor. WWE, an interesting twist. Title of your lackluster May or June wrestling pay-per-view. However, McIntyre versus Lesnar versus Keith Lee. Can Lukewarm Luke Owen get a yes, please? Do you want to see those matches? Let me know in the comments down below. Ringside News, however, so do take this with a pinch of salt, claims these matches are bullshit and were never officially pitched within WWE, as Vince McMahon is way behind on his booking. And that's saying something, with January's Royal Rumble card still up in the air. They do not have anything on any grid for WrestleMania 37 yet. They are the lone voice in reporting this though, as furthering our own WrestleTalk sources saying WWE was still hoping for Roman versus The Rock at Mania 37. WrestlingNews.co now writes, that match is not going to happen in 2021, as McMahon does not feel that WrestleMania 37 would be the time for the match to happen, citing limits on fan attendance and that he'd rather wait until a Hollywood-themed WrestleMania 38 in LA to capitalize off the extra mainstream media buzz that would come with that match. More media outlets would attend the show because of the location, and Vince wants to get as many eyes on Roman as possible. Before we get on with the rest of the episode, I'd just like to say a huge thank you to this video's sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends! Caught in the middle of an epic struggle that's raged for thousands of years. No, not Seth Rollins versus Rey Mysterio. The dark fantasy game, Raid Shadow Legends, has everything from badass champions to prophecies, betrayals, and curses, with a community of millions of players, which you can download for free using my links below to your mobile phone or PC. What I love about the game is the awesome character designs, which you get to select a team from to play through the fully voiced storyline in the campaign mode. There's a trick for leveling up your team in the background too. You can pop on auto and double speed during combat, so you can focus more on their XP building. And this month sees Raid's biggest ever update, the Doom Tower, where you can put your team to the test of 120 floors, secret challenge rooms, and 12 big bosses to take on. Oh my god, help, there's a giant ice spider! There's never been a better time to start playing, so download Raid using WrestleTalk's special links in the video description below, and find me in-game with the name Wonder Ollie, and join my Ollie-thority clan. And if new players use my links, you'll get the free Void Champion Bulwark, 50 gems, an XP booster, energy refills, and even an ancient shard as soon as you get in game. All this treasure will be waiting for new players here in the inbox for the next 30 days. Let me know once you've downloaded Raid in the comments below with your username, and I'll reply to you from out of this special Christmas scene with all the Raid characters there, dressing the Christmas tree, wrapping the presents, you little bloodthirsty scamps. Got Sir Nicholas, got Rain Beast, Frostbringer, all invited round here for Mr. Davis's All Authority Christmas get-together. Merry Raidmas, everybody! Historically on social media, you've always had to be wary of Randy Orton striking from out of nowhere to call you a dickhead. But now, there's a new Omega heel to watch out for online, cleaning up one Twitter thread at a time, the Troll Collector, Kenny Omega. Following their appearance on Impact Wrestling, Don Callis tweeted, "The winners get to write for history, Impact on Access TV, but Dr. Bill Bradley wasn't impressed, replying, my eyes were on Impact for the first time since they've been on Access. I wanted a reason to come back every week. I was absolutely hoping for something substantial. Instead, it was an insubstantial teaser after 1 hour 45 of mediocre booking. I won't be back. That's bad for business. Dr. Bill Bradley thought he was safe, but lurking in the replies was Kenny Omega, who is always, and I repeat always, loading up a V-trigger. He kinda seemed like a dickwad anyway, so I'm kinda glad about that. V-trigger to Dr. Bill Bradley! Because on the initial week's numbers, you can't deny Kenny is an actual draw, with Impact now reporting their combined viewership across all platforms for Tuesday's episode was 750,000. That beats NXT, but it is also a worldwide figure, proving AEW's Winter is Coming episode success even further. Wednesday's Dynamite outdrew the previous weeks, averaging a massive 995,000 viewers, up from last week's 913. This is one of the best ratings in the show's history, and its best since September 9th. Because he's a stats man. Tony Khan celebrated on Twitter, reminding everyone the balance of power in wrestling has shifted towards you great fans who have started a revolution. And they've got big plans for 2021 too. Snoop Dogg. AEW announced their 2-week New Year's Smash specials for December 30th and January 6th to say off to 2020 in style, with Night 2 featuring an appearance from special guest Snoop Dogg. Thing is, no one told WWE. Snoop isn't just a WWE Hall of Famer being inducted into the celebrity wing in 2016 by John Cena for his multiple appearances at WrestleManias, once performing for his real-life cousin Sasha Banks' entrance at Mania 32. He also literally just collaborated with WWE on an Undertaker merchandise line of 8 t-shirts, a hoodie, and a beanie hat last month in honor of the dead man's retirement. Why, you might ask? Well, because the crossover line is a celebration of mutual respect between two icons who redefine their industries while creating legacies that will never die. Which is marketing speak therefore, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, buy stuff blah, blah blah. Did I mention you can get your WrestleTalk merch at WrestleShop.com? But unlike WWE's independent contractors, Snoop Dogg can do whatever he wants. And that involves appearing on TNT's Go Big show, no, not that one, the new talent competition, as a judge alongside Cody Rhodes, which he's cross-promoting on the January 6th episode of Dynamite, which goes head-to-head with WWE's NXT. And according to Brian Alvarez on Wrestling Observer Live, there are people in WWE who are very upset with Snoop for appearing for AEW. Interestingly, around the same time as AEW's announcement, Snoop's collaboration line with The Undertaker was pulled from WWE's shop. The two are unrelated though, as the merchandise was only ever limited edition, set to run through until December 6th. Item listings on WWE's shop was certainly a clue for Sting's jump to AEW last Wednesday, where his merch was pulled from WWE.com at the end of October. BodySlam.net is now reporting this was just days before Sting officially signed with AEW, writing, Sting actually signed his contract with the company about a month ago, making it incredible his debut wasn't leaked in advance. Someone else who hasn't had any merchandise on WWE shop is Brock Lesnar, who had all his shirts pulled from the site back in August, potentially as a negotiating ploy with Brock's most recent WWE contract expiring back in April. Lesnar hasn't been seen since losing to Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania 36. And according to WrestleVote, as we heard from earlier, WWE are at least discussing the idea of having him wrestle at Mania 37. But before then, Gerald Briscoe, a longtime WWE producer with Vince who was released earlier this year, has speculated to Wrestling Inc. Brock would listen if AEW made a play, saying if the money is right, Lesnar would take the offer to Vince to see if he could top it, where he admitted Vince probably would, which probably means AEW might as well go for it, right? Khan makes Lesnar a ridiculous money offer, Brock either agrees, which brings a lot of eyes onto AEW, or, more likely, it just makes him far more expensive for WWE. It seems like we've got another WWE return before Brock's though, the Omni Flair. Thanks for your support on Patreon, Ryan Disco Stewart, and he can last Sean for longer than you in the ring. Charlotte went on a hiatus from WWE back in June to undergo elective surgery, somehow without putting anyone over, despite being on 3 separate brands. Reports and interviews have come out over the last 2 weeks where Rhea Ripley admitted her confidence is still recovering after Flair beat her for the NXT title at WrestleMania, and that NXT kept pitching ways to help get their talent over, but Raw's creative team shot down every single proposal, instead opting for Charlotte wins, LOL. Worked for Cena, but now Inside the Ropes is reporting Charlotte's return plans are locked in, and Flair was very hands-on with the creative for her comeback. This apparently doesn't involve the partnership with her real-life fiancé Andrade that WrestleVotes claim was pitched last month. Charlotte isn't the only wrestler currently out though, as this week has seen a slate of injuries from NXT following their punishing War Games takeover on Sunday night. Candice LeRae has been confirmed to have a broken arm, and Bobby Fish has had to undergo surgery to reattach his triceps. Both are expected to be out on the shelf for a while. And meanwhile on AEW, Pentagon Jr. was written off TV for the next few weeks due to a leg injury he picked up in training, and Santana has emotionally revealed on Instagram why he's been missing from Dynamite, revealing the tragic passing of his stepfather. Former WWE star Tommy Lister, who famously portrayed the Zeus character in WWE's first ever film No Holds Barred, has also passed away at the age of 62. According to TMZ. Lister was reportedly found unconscious on Thursday in his Los Angeles apartment, where he was declared dead on the scene. Although an official cause of death hasn't been announced, Lister's manager Cindy Cohen told Variety that he'd been displaying symptoms of COVID-19 in recent days, even having to cancel a movie he was working on. WWE has since issued a statement on their website, remembering his brief run as a pro wrestler in the then WWF to promote the movie, where he teamed with Randy Savage against Hulk Hogan and Brutus the Barber Beefcake in the main event of SummerSlam 1989, which generated a huge 625,000 buys, a number SummerSlam wouldn't get to again until 1998. Lister was also a Hollywood actor, having roles in The Fifth Element, The Dark Knight, and Zootopia, and the role of Debo in Ice Cube's Friday films. Rest in power, Zeus. Find out the controversial backstage reason why Charlotte Flair won the NXT title by clicking the video on the right. And is Uno, the card game, not Evil Uno, the wrestler, actually good? Find out what Luke thinks over on our board game channel for Nominads and give us a subscribe over there. And remember to download Raid using our links below. I've been Mr. Davis. Jam that jam.